JT Crowley is Talking Books. On this show, you'll hear from emerging talent and seasoned veterans from around the world.
Hello, I'm JT Crowley. I'm the host of Talking Books show on Web Talk Radio. And today I find myself in Washington State with Theresa Fochtman, and she's joining me to talk about her recipe book, The Journey, a recipe book for those who have gastrointestinal issues. Now, the book has 30 delicious menus to follow, but I make it very clear, although the book is for people who've got gastrointestinal issues, dietary issues, anybody can eat these wonderful menus. They're for everybody. But as it says, predominantly those with gastrointestinal issues. Why? You'll find out in a minute. So, I know what's in the book. I know all about the 30 recipes. They look absolutely delicious. But at the moment, you, the audience, the listeners, don't. But you're about to find out, because I'm about to invite Theresa Fochtman onto the show to talk about herself and her amazing recipe book. Theresa, come and join me.
Hi, John. How are you?
It's a lovely sunny evening here in the United Kingdom. I know I said, and you're in Washington State. So we are thousands of miles apart, all connected up by the wonderful technology of Zoom. Isn't it fantastic?
It is amazing. Thank you so much for having me. I know it's late your time and it's not even noon my time yet, so I really appreciate it.
It's only morning for you. It's just early evening for me.
Yeah.
Now, Theresa, before we venture into the book and have a look at your menus and your recipes, would you care to tell the audience who you are and what's the story behind the book? Because I'm a great believer in the fact that there are two stories to a book. There's the story itself and there's the story behind the book. So, who are you? Why have you written this book? And who's it for?
Well, like you said, I'm Theresa. I'm a mom first. My daughter is my whole world, and I'm a wife. I have 7 brothers and no sisters, so I grew up rough and rugged, and if I wanted to spend time with my brothers, I had to play sports and be athletic. So I've always been the type of person that played sports and was in exceptional shape. And food is life. Food is what helped me gain muscle. Food is what gave me energy. And in 2017, food started to be my enemy. I was wrongly diagnosed with Crohn's disease and ended up having a total colectomy with an ostomy bag and had a lot of issues with it. Couldn't eat the right food, ended up on TPN twice. And I've had about 17 surgeries in total. I ended up having a reversal because I was having more complications with having an ostomy bag and was put on TPN again. And I just couldn't eat. And food is life. You know, food is what surrounds you. You have your first date with food. You celebrate birthdays and holidays with food. And I was getting really depressed. I stopped going out with my friends. I stopped going out with my family because I couldn't eat the food. So one day my mom was like, hey, why don't you make a recipe book? Theresa, you're constantly cooking for everybody. Why don't you make one? And I was like, you know what, Mom, you're so right. So I took what was in my brain and I put it down on paper, and I started making recipes for people like me who can't eat like red meat, fruits and vegetables, stuff like that. So with my food, I use a lot of infused olive oils to bring you that flavor, so you're not missing out on a tomato or cilantro or garlic or anything like that. So food is my passion. It's what I live for. And so I made this book for people who need flavor, who want to get out of depression, who want to enjoy food. And it's also for families who have a normal diet, but their significant other or their kid can't, they can cook for them. And when those people come to visit, they're happy and they don't feel like they're going without.
Your food is really a celebration of life, isn't it? It's your passion. It's what you get up for every day.
Yes, it is. Yep.
And I totally understand, where you're coming from, why you have to do this. But as I said, everybody, these are foods, these are recipes for everybody and for families to sit down and enjoy them just as much. And so it really does make that the one person or the two people who have got dietary issues can sit down and enjoy the same food as everybody else, so they don't feel isolated or left out. They are included. So this food is bringing love, heartfelt tenderness, and bringing families and friends together and enjoying the food. So what is on the menu? Well, let's go and have a look, shall we? Now, there are 30 recipes in this book, everybody. And if you want to know what all the 30 recipes are, well, very simply, go and buy the book. Because that's where they all are. Beautiful pictures of what they look like, and the recipe is there and how to put them together. And you know what? If it doesn't work for the first time, well, try again. Like any recipe you get out of a cookbook, it doesn't always work the first time. Try it again and again, and you'll get to be at the level that Theresa's at with her food. Now, we are going to have a look at 8 of these recipes. And those of you who are smart enough to realize already there is food in front of us, because Theresa and I agreed as to what menus to highlight, and she's cooked them so as you can actually see them. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the recipe, the food, and take it from there. So now the first recipe is sitting in front of Theresa there, and it's the Nutella and sourdough. Now, talk us through this.
Well, first of all, sourdough bread is really easy on the digestive tract. There's a lot of people out there that have gluten intolerances. But legit sourdough, if you read on the back of like a bag, or if you're making your homemade sourdough bread, it has to have a starter. For people like me with gut motility issues, it's really hard to digest food and to break it down. Sourdough is one of the easiest breads to break down without having the stomach cramping and the bloating. So I love this for in the morning for like a first breakfast or for a snack, because it has Nutella. Who does not love chocolate? And
who doesn't love chocolate? Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm an Italian, like I said, so Nutella is a staple. As you can see, there's raspberries on this. I cannot eat raspberries, but my daughter can, and raspberries are her favorite fruit. So I made this for her for when she gets home from school. What I do is I just take sourdough bread and I spread a nice size of Nutella on there, and then I set it in the broiler in the oven on high for like 2 minutes until you get like starts to kind of crisp down here, gets a little charred. Oops.
Yeah.
And then I put on a plate, and then I add some raspberries. So if people can eat the raspberries, put it on there. If they can't, but they want a little bit of fruit flavor, I use like a seedless compote, and I just drizzle a little bit of raspberry on there. But this is one of my favorite things to eat for breakfast. With coffee or tea. Have to have coffee or tea along with it.
Let's bring in the lemon cake. A lemon cake's got strawberries on top. So talk us through the lemon cake recipe, and is this something that people can have, say, for afternoon tea, with friends, or, you can take it to church fairs and everybody enjoy it. Talk to us about your lemon cake.
So my brother, Aaron, loves lemon cake, and he lives in Texas and he works on the oil rig. So whenever he comes home, I make him a homemade lemon cake. My husband, he does not like cake, but he loves my lemon cake. He's a pie kind of guy. And for me, since I can't eat fruits and vegetables, I miss the tart and I miss the sweet. So I came up with a recipe, which you can use gluten or you can use gluten-free. You just need to look at the instructions on the flour. Everything I make has gluten-free and dairy-free options. So all of my food is literally for everybody. Instead of having a bunch of actual lemon in it, I use lemon juice. So you still get that sweet flavor and, it's, oil, flour, vanilla. And then usually I'll do like a cream cheese frosting, but I miss fruit. I miss the sweetness. I miss the tartness. So I will use like a strawberry seedless compote. And then I cut up fresh strawberries because my daughter loves strawberries also. And if I'm going to eat it, I just don't put the strawberries on my side of the cake. It's great for birthdays. It's amazing for summer because it does not melt all over the place. It's not like typical chocolate frosting where it's sunny out and then it melts and it's not very good in the cake. Once you put this in the freezer for about an hour, the syrup is thick and it stays hard. So the strawberries and the fruit doesn't fall off. So you can literally take it anywhere, and it is really good with chamomile tea.
So this is something that you can share with friends, for everybody.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, I have to say, everybody, I've never seen a lemon cake this with strawberries on top. Well, I have now.
It's really good.
It does. It looks absolutely amazing. I wish you could just cut a slice there and just hand it over through the computer systems.
Wouldn't that be great?
Absolutely delicious.
I'll just mail you some overnight.
Now, let's move on to the next one. Avocado salad.
The easiest salad you can make in your entire life.
Talk us through.
So it is avocado. I cut up 2 avocados. You have to be careful for people with GI issues like me that the avocado has like a pulpy layer, and pulpy layers can give us bowel obstructions or it can slow our motility down a lot. So what I do is I'll take off the hard part, and then I'll take off the first layer of the avocado, and then I cut it up into chunks. And I take as much mayonnaise as I want, and I love mayonnaise. And I put it in and I mix it in, and then I add salt and pepper, and that's literally it. And my family likes it on sandwiches, like just an avocado salad sandwich. It gives you really good vitamins and minerals. You're getting all the good fats that you need. For me, it's a struggle for me to keep weight on. This is how you do it. You got to have the avocado and the mayo. So it's really, really healthy. You can add spices to it. You can remove spices if you want to, but this is a staple. Everybody that comes to my house wants it, and I take this on picnics every single time. I'll make like a cheese platter, and I have to have my avocado salad with it. So it goes everywhere.
So you put it, yes, you've done it that way, but you can also, if somebody else wants to put something different into it, they can do that as well, can't they?
Oh yeah, my daughter, she'll ask for like tomatoes and cucumbers and onions. So I'll make mine, and then I'll add it in the rest, and I will give her the rest. And if you can eat the fruits and the vegetables, throw it in there. Sometimes I'll throw in some raspberries in there, and it's actually really, really good. So you can put whatever you want in there as long as it's not going to hurt your body.
So you see, everybody, we've gone from the naughty lemon cake to the good salad. I'm thinking, should I just stay with the lemon cake? I was surprised when I looked at this recipe and the picture of these in the book. And I was really intrigued. And that's why I'm glad that we've chosen to talk about these. And these are the wasabi deviled eggs. Can you pass one over?
Here you go.
Thank you.
Yes.
So what's in this? And is this something that you would do? Is that like a bit of an hors d'oeuvre, something like that?
It is an hors d'oeuvre. I make this every Thanksgiving as like an appetizer. I make it every Christmas on my daughter's birthday. These are my daughter's favorite. So I make sure to have like 24 of these made just for her. It was a struggle. She wanted them this morning, and I was like, No, you can't, you cannot eat these. So all it is I hard boiled my eggs and then I cut them in half and I take the yolk and I put it in a bowl. And then I add mayonnaise, like I said, as much mayonnaise as you want. I love mayonnaise, mustard, and wasabi, a little bit of garlic powder, salt, and pepper, and I mix it all together. The reason why I use wasabi is, first of all, it's delicious. And who doesn't like a little spicy kick? Wasabi is like a radish, like a horseradish. So it's different from like a cayenne pepper or jalapeno pepper. So people like me who have GERD or acid reflux, if you eat jalapenos or chili peppers, it doesn't feel very good. It causes a lot of pain. Where wasabi is a radish and you don't get that heartburn or acid gut or anything like that. So you get to have the nice spicy flavor without all the pain that comes with other food.
Mm. So it's very tasty. When your guests arrive, they've just walked into your kitchen or they're on the dining room table, they're little starters, just to whet the appetite for what's coming down the line, everybody. So now they sound, how long does it take you to make those? It sounds very simple.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yep.
So for a guy like me, probably 40 minutes.
No, you boil the eggs for 20 and then you rinse them off for 12 minutes. You boil your eggs for 12 minutes because you don't want to overcook them. And then you rinse them off or you put them in an ice bath for a minute and then you just peel them and it literally takes 5 minutes to add in your seasonings and then you plop it right in the center. So 20 minutes, you can do it. I have faith.
Perhaps I should have a go.
You should. You'll thank me later.
So there's the starter. Now let's have a look at the mains, the salmon fillets.
Oh, yes.
Let's have a look at the salmon fillets, everybody.
It's juicy, so I don't want to spill it over, but
so what's in that makes it, edible for you as opposed to anybody else?
I use infused oils. So I like my salmon. Well, I make my salmon a few different ways, but I like a spicy salmon. So instead of cutting up jalapenos or like the jalapeno seeds and sprinkling it on there, I use infused pepper oil, infused cilantro oil, infused olive oil, or garlic oil. And I marinate this because I want my salmon to take all the flavors. So I'll take like my infused oils and olive oil and then fish sauce, lemon juice, a little bit of soy sauce, and salt and pepper, and I'll let it just sit. And then I'll fry it for 12 minutes and 6.5 minutes on each side. And it comes out tender and juicy and soft, and it melts in your mouth like butter.
So what would you have that with?
Cucumber salad, avocado salad, mashed potatoes. I like to make a stir-fry rice with an egg. So I also make salmon sandwiches with sourdough with a runny egg. So there's a lot you can do with your salmon and salmon tacos. Salmon tacos are really good.
So you can have potatoes, can't?
Yep, as long as you take the skins off.
Yeah.
So for a person like me, skin and pulp is a no-go. It causes bowel obstructions. And so when I am making mashed potatoes or homemade French fries, I take the skins off and then I cook them until they're just right, not undercooked. They need to be soft. Yep.
Fluffy.
Yes.
Fluffy. Nice and fluffy. Nothing like fluffy chips.
Yep.
Now, Parmesan baked potato fries. See how we linked that in there? You see the potatoes, the chips, and I've moved on to the fries. I think that was very good of me, don't you, everybody?
What
do you think, Theresa?
I think you did
fantastic. Look at these. So what's in this, apart from the obvious?
The potatoes.
How long does it take to make? And is this something that, again, you would use as a nibble or a pass around or what?
Oh, this is straight up lunch or dinner food right here. We always have potatoes. My daughter loves fries. I love fries. I feel like I make the best fries because I like my fries crispy. So I just cut this up. I add garlic oil, salt, pepper, a little bit of cilantro oil, and then I cook them for about 35 minutes. And then right before they're done, I sprinkle on fresh Parmesan, and then I let it kind of melt. And then I pull them out of the oven and I plate them. And I like salty fries, so I add in a lot of salt.
So your recipes, your menus, they're really quite simple, aren't they?
Mhm. Anybody can make them.
And that's why everybody, you know, it's not just food for people with gastrointestinal issues. These are foods for everybody to enjoy. And as Theresa says, food is the food of life. Food is for sharing. It's there to create friendships, to share with friends, with family, and even, on the odd occasion, a stranger. Food unites everybody. The different foods from different parts of the world, we all try them, and it really does unite everybody when you sit down around a table. And this is what Theresa's food is all about. It's about friends, it's about family, it's about sitting down and enjoying her food with everybody being able to eat it, not just everybody eating it and one or two people looking at it going, everybody's involved. Now, your chicken thigh glazed donut sandwich. When I first saw this, I thought, what is this?
This is a staple for football games or soccer games or birthday parties. It's really fun. It's sweet, savory, spicy. You get the best of both worlds with my chicken donut burger.
So would that be something for like a barbecue, bonfire party, or
Anything. I make
Thanksgiving?
this for dinner. Yeah. It's literally, you can have it as a dessert if you want to, because it's got the donut. Or, it could be lunch, it could be dinner. When my husband's friends come over, this is what they ask for. Can we please have your your chicken donut burger? They work in the garage, and I make the food, I barbecue it, I put it on the donut and hand it to them, and they're like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. So, yeah.
So how long would that take, the average person to, from scratch to finish take?
20 minutes. 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Do you enjoy, when you're making these recipes, creating them? Do you enjoy creating them, making them up? Do you enjoy putting the food together?
Oh, yes. I have my music on and I'm doing my little dances while I'm tasting my food. Food is my passion. I've gone so many years without being able to eat it, and I've missed it so much. And there's so many people that are like me that go without. They are handed a food mop diet from the hospital, and it gives them a bland diet and of just potatoes with no seasonings, or chicken with no spices on it. It's very bland. So when I come up with a new recipe, I will high five myself, because I'm like, oh, this is going to make so many people happy. They are going to get out of that depression and just be able to enjoy food. They're going to be able to eat the food and not stress out about having a bowel obstruction or not. And that's a big thing for people like me, is when we go out to eat, we always have to ask, what do you put in your ingredients? Are there seeds in it? Are there sesame seeds in it? What's in the meat? And it gets pretty depressing, because even when we order food at times, they still bring the food with the stuff that we can't have in it. So then we can't eat it. It's either, okay, I'll take your fries, or do you have rice, or something like that. So when I come up with a menu and I know these people are going to love it, it makes my day, because I know it's going to safely process in their body and it's going to make them happy. And that makes me happy.
I'm just interested here. What do your friends think to your food?
I am the food god. My my best friend of 15 years, she lives about 2 hours away. And whenever she comes into town, I make sure to feed her. And she'll just walk in, give me a big fat kiss and a hug, and go straight to the food because she knows it's made. When she pulls up, food's on the table, it's on her plate. And she's just like, oh my God, this is the best food. I've missed you so much, but I've missed your food more. So I'll have friends ask me, hey, can you make this for me? Or my kid's birthday's coming up. Can you make this? Or when you come over, can you bring this? So my friends and my family really love my food, which makes me happy.
So the book, what's the aim of the book? Is it to make people happy, to enjoy food more and see food in a different light, particularly those who've got gastrointestinal issues?
All of the above, to be honest with you. Like you said earlier, this recipe book is not just for people with GI issues. Anybody can eat my burgers. You know what I mean? The big picture of it is I want the whole world to be able to eat food and not be scared of it. I want the whole world to be able to come together at a table and eat without having one person not being able to eat, because that's depressing. Like that person goes home and is sad and is like, I wish I could do this and I can't do this. So then they seclude themselves and they stop going out. And I want to bring everybody back to the table. The table's important.
It is. Mm-hmm. Life evolves around food on the table. Now, let's have a look at the last recipe. And ground chicken meatballs, everyone.
And I did it with this Alfredo sauce.
Look at that. Oh, my word. Talk us through this one. What's in it? And how long does it take to make? And,
I love my ground chicken meatballs. So one thing that I've learned with practicing making recipes is I can get a chicken meatball or ground chicken to taste like anything. I can't eat sausage. I can't eat pork. I can't eat a steak. I can't eat any red meat, anything like that. And with the seasonings that I use for my meatballs, it tastes like a spicy beef meatball, which is exciting because who wants to eat the same thing all the time and have just the flavor all the time? Gets really boring. So with my ground chicken meatballs, I use a lot of Worcestershire sauce. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but
we call it Worcester sauce over here. Worcester sauce.
I don't even know if I'm saying it the right way. My husband always makes fun of me. And then I use cilantro oil, garlic oil, salt, pepper, Italian breadcrumbs, 1 egg, and I roll it up into little balls. I add some butter and I fry them for 15 minutes. And then I make my pasta. One thing with pasta is semolina is the flour from Italy. And if you have GI issues and you go to the store and you buy regular pasta, that's more of a yellow color, that's bad pasta. That's going to rip your stomach up. But if you look back on the ingredients, it will say semolina. It's the best thing for your GI tract besides just going gluten-free. When I go to Italy, I don't have any gluten issues. A lot of people who have GI issues or have gluten intolerance, they can eat the pasta there because it's different from the pasta here. And then I just make a homemade Alfredo sauce with sour cream, heavy whipping cream, and butter and Parmesan.
There you go. So how long would that take a novice to make?
35 minutes.
And would that be, say, like for an evening meal? What?
Oh, yeah. This is definitely dinner. I also make meatball subs with my meatballs, which is really good. Yeah. Or like a meatloaf sandwich. You just cut them in half and you put them on bread with some mayonnaise and Swiss cheese. And yeah, this is definitely dinner. You're going to need a nap after you eat the meatballs. Don't make you tired.
So would you serve that for one person?
This would be for my husband. Me, I would probably eat like half of this, but This for a 6'4", 217-pound man, this is enough. But for a 5'9", 112-pound girl, half of it. It's very filling. It's very rich. It's creamy. The meatballs are spicy. They're savory. They're really, really good.
I hope that everybody, we've given you a little bit of insight as to what sort of menus, what sort of food that Theresa makes and cooks and presents. And as I said, she believes that food is for life, like so many of us, and it's an opportunity for her and for people who have got gastrointestinal issues or, dietary issues, to sit down with others and enjoy a meal without feeling embarrassed and feeling included. This is what her book is all about. It's for everybody. So, talking about books, have you got any plans for writing another one? Because I think you need to do some more menus here.
I have a plan for 2 more books. Actually, I have another recipe book, but it's going to have a lot more recipes in there. Ever since I wrote this book, my brain has just been going crazy, and I'm constantly coming up with new recipes. And then the other book I want to make is my journey with my GI issues, how I came to be diagnosed, how I came to being misdiagnosed, and all the complications of surgery and having to completely change the way I live life. I used to bodybuild. I used to compete in body competitions, and not being able to eat all the food I need to eat, my body has become malnourished, and I can't do those things anymore. So it's kind of a self-help book for the people that are going through what I've gone through, to let them know, hey, this may be life, but it doesn't have to be negative. You can get through it. You can put yourself out there and to become a better version of yourself. Don't let an illness ruin you. You're above that. So that's what my other book is about, is beating the stigma of being disabled.
I think, and I've said this off screen too, is that you should do, like some of the people do. You see them doing cooking menus on, on Facebook, on Reels and social media sites, and coming up and showing people how to put them together, from start to finish. I think you ought to do that, because I think you'd have a huge following.
Oh, thank you. I am working on it. I actually got a TikTok. I'm not a TikToky girl, but I got a TikTok, and I got my food on there. And then I have my my Facebook under, it's Theresa M. Fochtman, and it's very informative on GI issues. And it's got a bunch of recipes on there, breaks down the food, very knowledgeable. Like, I don't know if you know this, but there's like hundreds of different types of potatoes out there in the world.
Yeah.
And there's some people that can have starch, and there's some people that can't have starch. And so I educate them on every type of potato, from least starch to most starch, so they can still have a potato, because their doctors, their GIs or nutritionists or dietitians don't tell them, hey, you can actually have this, but you have to have this.
What about sweet potatoes?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. Sweet potatoes.
They are delicious.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You just have to peel them and cook them until they're soft. Yes.
Mm. There you go, everyone. Now, where can people get this amazing book of yours?
It sells at Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and I believe you can go to the Exilibris website.
You can indeed, everybody. Now, when we first met Theresa, I thought, how am I going to do this recipe book? I've done recipe books with 1 or 2 other people, and I thought, I'm going to do this one different, because when I was doing those, it was just, we talked about the food, and what's actually in the book. But I thought, no, this time we're going to do it different. And I'm really glad that Theresa actually cooked the food, so you can see it, you can visualize what it looks like, because that's far more, a picture paints 1,000 words. So it was the visualization that I want to get across this time. And I think you can agree with me that it's worked. You can see what the food looks like, the color, the textures, and it's only a pity that we don't have a taste and smell sensor on our computers here, because I was sure it'd be delicious. So I just want to say to Theresa Fochtman, thank you ever so much for joining me on my show today. The recipes look amazing. Go and buy her book, try her food, and let's hope we see her on a lot more of the social media sites, talking about her food, getting it out there, and bringing more people on board. Theresa Fochtman, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate it. And I will send you some of this.
You sure will.
I will.
So, I'm JT Crowley, everybody. Thanks for listening wherever you are in the world. Until next time, stay safe.